Imagine this. He once held your heart in the palm of his hands. The late night whispers, the inside jokes, the promises that felt eternal. Now, they're nothing but echoes in an empty room. He walked away. Maybe slowly, maybe suddenly, but the pain was the same. A gnawing hollowness that settled in your chest, the kind that makes you question if any of it was ever real. And now, here you are, staring at your phone, waiting for a message that doesn't come, scrolling through memories that don't change, replaying moments that feel like a cruel joke from the universe. But what if I told you you're about to shift the entire game? What if I told you that you're about to make him feel something he never expected, something that shakes him to his core, regret? The kind that makes a man stop in his tracks, question every decision he's ever made, and realize too late that he let go of the best thing that ever happened to him. And it starts with this: you erase him. Not just from your contact list, not just from your daily routine, but from your mind, your heart, your energy. You become the woman he thought he'd always have access to, until one day he wakes up and realizes you're gone. See, here's the truth men rarely admit. The moment they feel like they've lost their grip on you, they panic, because it's not just about missing you, it's about the power shift, the loss of control, the realization that you are no longer orbiting around their world. This isn't about playing games. This isn't about petty revenge. This is about reclaiming the power you unknowingly gave away. It's about stepping back into the version of yourself that doesn't beg, doesn't wait, doesn't settle for breadcrumbs of attention. And when you do this right, when you truly master the art of erasing him, he won't just come back. He'll come running, and he'll come back changed. Because men don't regret losing women who wait for them. They regret losing women who disappear without a trace. And that's exactly who you're about to become. To understand why this works, you need to understand one fundamental truth about human nature. People only truly value what they believe they can lose forever. Think about it. When something is always available, always lingering in the background, it becomes ordinary, expected, taken for granted. But the moment it's gone, truly gone, its value skyrockets. This is why a man can walk away so easily, convinced that you'll still be there, lingering in his digital world, checking his stories, dropping subtle hints, keeping the door open even when you think you've closed it. He doesn't feel the weight of his decision because in his mind, you're still available. Maybe not physically, maybe not through texts, but energetically. And that's all he needs to feel secure in his choice. But the moment he senses that you are truly, irreversibly gone, that's when regret kicks in. Not immediately, not overnight, but slowly, like a poison that starts as a dull ache before consuming him entirely. And here's what most people get wrong. They think they have to show him they've moved on. They think posting selfies, going out with friends, or dropping hints that they're doing better will make him realize what he lost. No, that still feeds his ego. That still tells him you care enough to prove something. The real power move? Silence. Absence. The complete and utter erasure of his existence from your world. No closure, no explanations, no final words, because the moment he feels erased, he will start to question everything. He'll wonder if you ever truly cared. He'll replay every interaction, searching for clues. He'll scroll through your social media, hoping for a sign that you're still thinking about him. And when he finds nothing, that's when the panic sets in, because now you are a mystery. Now he doesn't know where you stand. Now the power is in your hands. And trust me, a man will do almost anything to regain access to what he once took for granted. Now, here's where most people go wrong. They think that cutting off contact means deleting his number and blocking him on everything. While that might seem like the right move, it actually gives him closure. It tells him she's mad, she's hurt, she's reacting to me, and that still gives him power. Instead, you need to disappear without a trace. Imagine being a man who breaks up with a woman, expecting her to react. Maybe he expects tears, maybe he expects anger, maybe he expects desperate attempts to win him back, but instead, nothing. Radio silence. He checks his phone. No missed calls, no texts. He scrolls through social media. You're there, but you're not there for him. You're posting, you're living, but there's no trace of sadness, no cryptic quotes, no reaction to his absence. It's as if he never existed in your world. And that's when he starts to unravel, because now he's the one searching for closure. He's the one wondering if he mattered. He's the one replaying memories, grasping for proof that he made the right decision. And here's where the power shift happens, because the moment a man starts chasing closure, he starts chasing you. At first, he won't admit it. He'll distract himself. He'll convince himself that he made the right choice. He might even jump into another relationship just to prove that he's moved on. But deep down, a question will start to gnaw at him. What if I made a mistake? That question will keep him up at night. That question will make him check your page, hoping to find something, anything that reassures him you're still affected. That question will haunt him when he sees other women and realizes none of them make him feel the way you did. And when that realization hits, that's when the regret becomes unbearable. That's when he starts reaching out. First, it will be subtle, a random, hey, how have you been? As if he's just casually checking in. Ignore it. Then he'll get bolder. Maybe he'll comment on an old inside joke, hoping to spark something. Ignore it. And then, finally, when he realizes that nothing is working, that you have truly erased him, he'll break. He'll call, he'll message, he'll confess. Because by the time he finally gathers the courage to reach out in desperation, he won't be coming back with arrogance. He'll be coming back with regret. And that's when you get to decide, do you let him back in? Or do you finally realize that the woman who had to erase him deserves better than a man who only wanted her once she was gone? Because by the time he realizes your worth, you might just realize, you don't need his validation anymore. And that right there is the most powerful comeback of all. There's a moment, quiet but powerful, when everything shifts. You wake up one day and his name doesn't hit you like a dagger to the chest anymore. The memories are still there, but they don't paralyze you. The songs that once felt like a personal attack now just blend into the background. His absence, which once felt like an open wound, starts to feel like freedom. And that's when you realize the most unexpected thing. Erasing him wasn't just about making him regret losing you. It was about finding yourself again. At first, it was a conscious effort. You had to remind yourself not to check his social media, not to reread old conversations, not to let your mind spiral into the dangerous territory of what ifs. But now it feels natural, organic, like breathing. You don't have to force yourself to move on anymore because you already have. And that's the paradox of it all. The moment you truly let go, the moment you stop caring whether he regrets it or not, is the moment he feels it the most. He thought he had time. That's the thing about people who walk away thinking they have the upper hand. They assume they can come back whenever they want, that you'll always be in the same place they left you. They imagine you frozen in time, still hurting, still hoping, still available. When a man comes looking for the door he once walked out of, only to find it sealed shut, that's when regret truly sinks in. He starts noticing things he never paid attention to before. The silence is different now. It's not the silence of someone waiting. It's the silence of someone who's already left. He scrolls through old messages, looking for clues, trying to pinpoint the exact moment he lost you for good. Maybe he even tries to convince himself that he never really cared, that he made the right choice. But that lie only lasts so long. Because the more he tries to move on, the more he realizes you already did. He thinks about reaching out, but something holds him back. It's not just pride, it's fear. The fear of hearing the truth he never thought he'd have to face. That you don't want him anymore, that he could spill his heart out, admit every mistake, tell you how much he regrets walking away, and it still wouldn't change a thing. That's the kind of regret that lingers. That's the kind of regret that makes a man stare at his phone, type a message, delete it, type it again, and then sit there wondering if he even has the right to press send. And by the time he does, by the time he works up the nerve to break the silence, you're not waiting for it anymore. You're not checking your phone hoping to see his name. You're not in that headspace where a single text could unravel all the progress you made. You don't feel the rush of excitement or the pang of anxiety. You just feel indifferent. And that's when the real tables turn. Because nothing terrifies a man more than realizing he no longer has an emotional hold over you. He expected anger, sadness, maybe even bitterness. But indifference? That shakes him to his core. That makes him realize he didn't just lose you, he lost the version of you who would have fought for him. He lost the woman who once saw the best in him, even when he didn't deserve it. He lost the security of knowing you'd always be there, just a phone call away. So he tries harder. He sends another message, then another. He starts reminiscing, bringing up old memories, trying to remind you of what you once had. He wants to make you feel something, anything, because he can't handle the idea that you've moved on while he's just now realizing what he lost. Maybe he even calls, hoping to hear the softness in your voice, the familiarity that once felt like home. But the moment you answer, if you even choose to, he hears something else instead. Strength, distance, a version of you he never expected. And that's when he knows. He could beg, he could apologize, he could promise to change, but deep down, he knows it might not matter anymore, because you're not erasing him to punish him. You're not doing it to manipulate him into coming back. You're doing it because you've finally woken up to the truth. You never needed him to complete you. You never needed his validation to feel whole. You never needed him to see your worth, because it was never his to define in the first place. The realization doesn't come all at once. It creeps up on you in the quiet moments. The way your laugh feels lighter now. The way your energy isn't weighed down by the need for closure. The way you look in the mirror and finally recognize the person staring back at you. You start to remember what it feels like to be happy without conditions. To wake up in the morning and not feel the weight of what could have been. To exist in a space where your peace is no longer tied to someone else's presence. And that's when you finally understand. Erasing him was never about making him regret losing you. That was just a side effect. The real victory, it was about reclaiming yourself. It was about stepping back into your own power. It was about realizing that the love you were so desperate to give to him was always meant for you. He'll regret it. He'll regret it in ways he never anticipated, but by the time he does, you'll be too far gone for it to matter. And that's the most powerful revenge of all. There's a shift that happens when you truly move on. Not the kind where you pretend, not the kind where you force yourself to look happy, but the kind that settles deep in your soul. It's the moment you stop looking back, not because you're trying to prove a point, but because there's nothing left to see. At first it might feel strange, almost unsettling. You've spent so much time carrying the weight of this person, wondering what he's thinking, if he regrets it, if he'll ever come back. And then one day you wake up and realize none of it matters anymore. The grip he once had on your emotions is gone. The longing that used to sit heavy on your chest faded. The energy you spent analyzing his every move, his silence, his absence, you've reclaimed it. And that's when he feels it the most. Because for the first time, the roles have reversed. He's the one stuck in the past now. He's the one staring at old photos, replaying old conversations, searching for clues he was too blind to see before. It's almost ironic. The same man who once made you question your worth is now questioning his own. The same man who once made you feel replaceable now realizes that no one else makes him feel the way you did. The same man who once had the power to hurt you is now the one hurting. And the best part, you're not even doing anything. You're not waiting for him to regret it. You're not trying to teach him a lesson. You're not orchestrating some grand plan to make him chase you. You're simply living. And that in itself is what drives him crazy, because men are wired to want what they can't have. It's not about ego, it's about biology. When something is scarce, its value increases. When something is easily accessible, it's taken for granted. It's why he felt so secure walking away. He assumed you'd still be there, that the door would always be open, that he could return whenever he pleased. But when he finally turns around, expecting to find you still waiting, he's met with nothing but silence. No response to his messages, no reaction to his breadcrumbs, no proof that you even noticed he was gone. And that silence, that's what breaks him. Because here's the thing about regret. It doesn't hit all at once. It starts small, a passing thought, a slight discomfort, and then slowly it grows. It creeps into his mind when he's alone. It lingers in the spaces where you used to be. It follows him into his new relationships, whispering she wasn't like her. It turns into late night scrolling, revisiting old pictures, searching for signs that you're still affected. And when he finds none, that's when it fully consumes him. He starts reaching out in ways he never did before. Maybe it's a simple hey after weeks or months of silence. Maybe it's an old song you both loved, sent randomly at 2 a.m. Maybe it's an inside joke, a desperate attempt to spark something that once came so naturally. But when he finally gathers the courage to reach out, he's met with something he never expected. Distance. detachment, the version of you that doesn't need him anymore. And in that moment, he realizes he's no longer the man in control. He's no longer the one being chased. He's no longer the center of your universe, and nothing is more terrifying to a man who once took you for granted than realizing he no longer has access to your heart. He might even try to downplay it, act casual, pretend like he's just checking in, but deep down, he knows this isn't casual at all. This is desperation disguised as nonchalance. This is regret dressed up as curiosity. This is the last attempt of a man who never thought he'd have to fight for you, now realizing he might have already lost. And this is your moment of power, not because he's regretting it, not because he's chasing now, but because you're no longer affected by it. You're no longer waiting for an apology. You're no longer hoping he'll see your worth. You're no longer holding on to the past because the future is finally too bright to look back. And that's the part he'll never understand. He thought regret would be enough. He thought realizing his mistake would be enough. He thought that coming back, confessing, admitting he was wrong would be enough. But what he never considered, what men rarely consider, is that sometimes by the time they realize what they lost, the woman they lost is no longer the same woman who wanted them, because you're not the same anymore. The version of you that loved him, that waited for him, that would have taken him back in a heartbeat, she's gone. You erased her along with him. Not out of spite, not out of bitterness, but out of necessity. Because in losing him, you found something far more valuable. You found yourself. And that's the real lesson here. Erasing him was never about making him chase you. It was never about getting revenge. It was never about playing games. It was about reclaiming your own power, about realizing that your worth was never tied to his presence, about understanding that the love you were so eager to give him was always meant to be poured into yourself first. So when he finally comes back, because he will, you won't even have to think about it. You won't feel a rush of excitement. You won't feel the old pull that once kept you tethered to him. You won't even feel anger. You'll just feel nothing. And that's the moment you truly win. Not because you made him regret it, not because you made him chase you, but because you finally understand his regret was never the prize. You were, and you always have been. There's a moment in life where you realize the universe was never punishing you. It was protecting you. That heartbreak, that disappointment, that betrayal, it wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to wake you up, to shake you free from the illusions you built around someone who never deserved to hold your heart in the first place. Because let's be honest, if he truly saw your worth, if he truly valued the depth of your love, he never would have put you in a position where you had to erase him. A man who genuinely cherishes you doesn't gamble with losing you. He doesn't walk away expecting to return when it's convenient. He doesn't make you feel like an option, a placeholder, or a safety net, but he did. And that's why he lost you. And now he's drowning in the very emptiness he created. At first, he tried to ignore it, convinced himself that he was better off, that you were just another chapter in his story. But time has a funny way of exposing the truth. The further he got from you, the clearer it became. He didn't just lose a relationship. He lost something irreplaceable. He lost the warmth of your energy, the strength of your presence, the kind of love that doesn't come around twice. And no matter how many distractions he throws in his path, whether it's work, partying, or even someone new, nothing quite fills the void, because nothing compares to what he had with you. He thought he could find another version of you, but now he understands you were one of one. And this is where he starts to spiral. At first, he tries to play it cool. He convinces himself that he can reach out casually, that you'll respond just like you used to. But something's changed. You've changed. The woman he left behind no longer exists. And that's what terrifies him the most. He's no longer reaching out to the same person. He's reaching out to a woman who has grown past him, a woman who no longer needs his validation, who no longer loses sleep over what he's thinking, who no longer waits for a love that once left her empty. And that realization, it's suffocating. Because for the first time, he understands he is no longer the prize, you are. And that's when the desperation kicks in. That's when he starts to chase, to try harder, to throw out every attempt at rekindling something that has already turned to ashes. Maybe he sends a long emotional message. Maybe he starts showing up in places he knows you'll be. Maybe he even tries to trigger a reaction by posting things designed to make you jealous. But here's the difference now. You're no longer affected. Once upon a time, his words had the power to pull you back. His presence had the ability to shake you. His absence used to haunt you. But now his regret is nothing more than an echo in the distance. Faint, irrelevant, powerless, because you finally see it for what it is. He's not sorry for how he treated you. He's sorry he no longer has access to you. He's not heartbroken because he lost you. He's heartbroken because he never thought he would. And this is where you have a choice. You can let him back in. You can entertain his regret. You can open the door and let history repeat itself. Or you can choose yourself the way he never did. You can recognize that his regret is not a reason to let him back into your life. It's simply proof that you were always worth more than the way he treated you. Because here's the hard truth. Regret doesn't equal change. Just because he feels the loss doesn't mean he's ready to be the man you deserve. Just because he wants you back doesn't mean he's capable of loving you the way you need to be loved. So don't let his regret be the reason you pause your progress. Don't let his sudden realization make you forget all the nights you cried, or the moments you felt invisible, or the times you begged for the bare minimum, because a man who truly loves you never has to lose you to realize your worth. And that's what you need to remember when he comes back, because he will come back. He will try to undo the damage. He will try to convince you that he sees things clearly now. He will try to tell you that he's changed. But by then, you'll be too far gone. Not in the bitter way, not in the vengeful way, but in the kind of way that happens when a woman finally steps into her power, when she finally realizes that she was never the one who needed to prove her worth, when she finally understands that real love doesn't require erasing yourself just to be seen. And that's the part of your story he never saw coming. He thought he could break you. He thought you'd wait. He thought he could leave and return whenever he pleased. But you weren't just waiting to be found. You were busy finding yourself. And that's the most powerful comeback of all. If this message resonated with you, don't just keep it to yourself. Hit that like button to let me know you're stepping into your power. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you ever erased someone from your life and watched them regret it? I'd love to hear your story. And if you're ready for more game-changing insights on love, confidence, and self-respect, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because trust me, this journey is just getting started.